It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This is the Cosmic Voice. Cosmic Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Voice. This is Season 5, Episode 11. I am here with my co-host, Chris Natalini.
What up, everybody?
And I am Mick Michaels. Welcome back, everyone, to another show. Chris, what
Mick.
is going on with you, sir?
Nothing, dude. Nothing at all, bro. Same old, man. Just, trying to get through, baby. Just trying to get through. Looking for that warmer weather. We hit a little bit of a cold spell, a little rain spell as we're recording this. There's nothing worse than... Listen, I hate cold. I hate rain. Cold rain just really bums me out.
Well, listen, this is what it's expected, right? We're in midwinter. There's nothing we can do here.
Totally, could be worse, right? Could be snow, but just looking for... I like my hoodie weather, but, I'm looking for spring.
This is not hoodie weather. This is... I pull out my Eskimo jacket and, wrap myself up. It's crazy, so I don't know. I don't like the cold either. It surprises everybody, even me. And I've been in this state my entire life, and every winter I'm still surprised. Man, I can't get over how cold it is. It's like, well, where were you last year? Or the 50-some years before that? Where have you been? Because I'll tell you, as soon as that weather breaks, I erase it from my memory. Like the droid's, memory was erased. I erase it. I do it on my own. It's gone. I don't... because
true, man.
For some point in July, all I believe is it could be like this forever. I don't think of any... I mean, I do think of Christmas, as you could tell. But I think of it anymore as like, well, listen, it's warm. If I can get away with it in July, then I can do it any time of the year, right? But my God, man.
Here's a question. Would you enjoy Christmas if you and the family lived somewhere warm year-round?
Well, I think so. I did Disney and Florida one year, and I enjoyed it, but it was nuts at the same time.
But if you live there.
But if I lived there, I think so. I mean, I would
Florida,
I guess I would find a way, right? Because the inside of the house would still look the same.
Okay.
Right?
That's fair.
If I didn't have to, freeze, I guess it wouldn't make a difference. I don't necessarily need the cold to enjoy Christmas. When I was little or younger, a white Christmas was kind of interesting. Now I'm older, I don't want to shovel nothing. I don't want to take a chance driving in something, right? If I'm going out on Christmas, I want to go get my meal in safety and return home safely. So,
That's right.
But yeah, I think that I could. My wife's only stipulation is wherever we go where there's sun, there has to be grass. Now, we had considered Arizona for a while, and there's not a lot of grass out there.
No.
A
lot of cactus.
A lot of cactus, and everybody, does hardscaping. She goes, all right, we could do this, but there got to be some kind of grass.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get it. There's some connection to whatever. So I don't know. I guess we're back to Florida at some point. But, sometimes Florida's, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, like you, I'm trying to make it through to spring so I can forget about winter and then be surprised next year when it happens again.
I always say, I like to live somewhere warm all year round. I think come fall, Halloween time, my favorite time, I would miss the chilly weather and the apple cider and the hot chocolate, for the first time, and, all the pumpkin spice stuff. Because, the pumpkin spice stuff's only good, when it's cold out, not, when it's warm out. That kind of stuff I would miss for sure.
Well, listen, if you say you move to Arizona, see, now we're like meteorologists and geologists, and we know all this stuff. And listen, where I'm pulling it from, it's any man's guess. But from what I've been told, once you move out there and you acclimate, your blood changes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I heard that too.
And
yes.
60 degrees out there is like, oh my God, we need a sweater, right? Where 60 degrees here is still short weather, right?
Yeah.
They do have some cold, Not like the cold that we get, but every so often it happens. But that cold in the desert, that kind of thing. So I guess you could still technically get your, you just got to wait till maybe 2 a.m. in the morning in the middle of nowhere. And you get your little Christmas and you drink your apple cider and hot chocolate all you want. But I have friends that are down in Florida, and they're like, no way, we're not even touching Pennsylvania or the Northeast anytime from October to April, right? Because it's just any little bit of wind, and their whole body is out of whack. So I get it, I get it.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's Russ the Boss.
Take it down. This is Stephen Pearson from Rat, the Rat Bastard. You're listening to the Cosmick Voice.
Well, I know none of that had anything to do with music, the business, or whatever, but hopefully somebody learned something about how you want to spend your holidays in what weather.
Turn it over to be meteorologists.
That's right. Well, listen, it worked for some. You could be wrong all the time.
People screaming at the radio.
Yeah.
I wouldn't live there.
I wouldn't live there.
Too hot. Stop. Shut up.
Yeah. Nobody's listening. Okay, with that, then the topic of tonight's show is likes or follows, and does it matter? So likes or follows, and I guess basically what we'll primarily be talking about, I guess, is because of your likes and followers, you're pretty much talking Facebook. There's social media. Everybody has something that you like, you click, you follow, you subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Likes or follows, or doesn't it even matter? What do you think, buddy?
Well, man, as much as I would love to say it doesn't matter, it does matter. I mean, it started to matter back in the days of MySpace, if we remember MySpace. Tom is still my number one friend. There was a thing where Five Finger Death Punch was rumored to be put together by Facebook. No, excuse me, MySpace. There was another popular band back in that time, too, that, and I don't know if this is true. This is just what in my own head canon, this is what I remember reading back in the days of MySpace. So, and back in the early days of 50s and 60s, labels and managers and producers used to put people together. I mean, they've done it. They still do it even today. Even up to what's it, the BTS, the Korean pop kids. These guys are all put together, for a model of music. So I think it was around then is when I started to realize that, unfortunately, not necessarily 100%, but unfortunately, music isn't the only thing that mattered. There was always more to it that mattered, right? Music and look and the whole nine. But when someone puts together a band just strictly for MySpace and or Hot Topic, whatever the case may be, I think I don't remember. It's going to bug me now because there was a band that was it Black Veil Brides maybe were put together? I don't remember. Anyway, again, I could be talking out of my butthole. It was then that I realized that, man, this social media thing is something that needs to be paid attention to. And I think it's even more relevant now. I mean, when you talk about rhythms and who could see what and who can't see what, and it's who's buying blue check marks and whatever the case may be, you are unfortunately a victim to social media because it is what we get most of our information from, whether it be TikToks or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or all those things. And the more that you're out there, I hate to say it, but the more successful you'll be. I mean, look at these young kids now. The thing is, the younger generation, they want to be influencers, because social media is just this big thing now, and that's how everybody's making money. Back in the day, guys, when you and I were that age, we were, doing part-time jobs. Our parents made us get jobs and, working at the local malls or delivering papers or whatever it would be. But now kids that age, they want to be influencers. Likes and follows equals dollar signs. And it's just how it is. And, you get into advertising. And so, yeah, likes and follows, it does matter. It matters hugely. I don't know. I don't want to say, unfortunately, because I hate to sound like the get off my lawn old guy. But, I was just brought up on, if the music's good and if you work hard and people will hear it, right? But unfortunately, that's just not the way it is anymore. People are now buying likes and buying follows. And listen, I'm on Twitter. I don't tweet a lot. I just follow some people that I really enjoy in the entertainment industry. And I tweet every once in a while. I'm nothing crazy. I literally get a follow every day, sometimes two, and they are fake sites. Like, they're literally just bots. And I just saw someone else that I follow on Instagram today. There's a company in Vegas who sells like horror merchandise, shirts, toys, stuff like that. And I saw the owner put out that they lost a lot of Instagram likes all of a sudden. And then they found out that Instagram was, trying to get rid of all their fake accounts. Again, just leads me to believe that likes and follows are the way to go.
With that, in Instagram, from what I understand, what I read, and this is just not too long ago, that the number one account that's followed is a bot, and people know that. Yet they still follow it because it says something every day and it posts every day. It has some kind of content.
Crazy, man.
And
That's
people are
crazy
interested
to me.
in that. And that concerns me in terms of us as a society. I mean, is that considered AI? Is it? Isn't it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm the person to answer that. I don't have enough in my mind to even process that, but I have no interest. I would have no interest in. Listen, I know everyone's involved in something that isn't real, right? Like we watch TV, it's not real. We listen to music, it's not reality per se. We watch animation, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
But then to follow someone or something that is constantly putting out content that may or may not be relative to the modern times, right? Maybe some event of the day or something. It's just being generated by a computer, a formula, and people are following it and taking it as such. And that's one of the most popular things. What does that say about us as individuals? People that are actually spending their time creating something, like artists of all kind, right? Writers and songwriters and musicians, music, painters, sculptors, whatever. That's not as interesting as what some fake entity that doesn't even exist is saying and doing.
100%.
That's that. Now, there are likes and followers on every type of social media. If you like a page on Facebook, there's a like and follow, but then you can like a post, right?
Yes.
And that's usually what it is on most of the other social medias. You like a post, but you follow that page or that person or that celebrity or whatever. But Facebook, even now, still gives you that opportunity, even though they are in the process of converting most of those like pages or those original like pages over to followers pages. But before I go into anything like that, I just want to give some of the facts, the scientific, so we're defining what people think are likes and follows and how that's interpreted, say, on Facebook. Primarily use Facebook right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
When someone likes a page, they're showing support for the page and that they want to see content from it. So the page will kind of show up in their about section. Hey, so-and-so likes this page. However, when someone follows a page, it means that they will receive updates about the page in their feed. So now you could see why, just based on that explanation that Facebook gives as the difference between, or the definition between the two, the comparison, why they want to convert to followers. Because of the algorithms, based on the original algorithms. Remember, this was just supposed to be some format for people to connect.
Yeah, just
talk.
like MySpace was.
Right,
Yeah.
and now it's taken this whole other turn. Now, maybe early on it was somebody decided, like, hey, this could be something big in terms of we need to generate money, but we have to get, the numbers up to a certain point, and then we have to change that original programming. Again, I'm probably not the one to be discussing this, but I'm giving a layman's idea of what I think I understand, okay?
Right.
Kind of based on my experience. So you can see why they're changing from likes to followers, because followers receive updates about that page, right?
Okay.
And then you can track better, and why they're converting everything to a boost or a sponsorship, which then makes money for Facebook. And with anything, you would hope that it would make money for the page or the business that would be trying to sponsor or boost a post to see more people. Because if someone just likes your page, they may not see what's actually happening on that page. But if you're following them, you have a higher percentage of seeing them. The more interactive you are with that page, the more you'll see. So if you have a friend on Facebook that you have not really interacted with or seen anything much with, say in the past 8 months, then all of a sudden you go visit their page or look at a post, all of a sudden you're seeing more of them, because the interaction now, the algorithm starts to create that opportunity. but there's nothing to sell there. It's just two regular people putting up pictures of their dogs and what they had for dinner last night. But think about what happens with the business who has 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million likes, or followers rather. And then all of a sudden, you can start pushing the branding, you can start pushing product, you can start pushing services, and now you're starting to make some money.
Yeah.
Somebody's making money. The people at Facebook are making money. Not necessarily all these businesses are making money. I see sponsored ads all the time, so do you. Everyone does.
All the time.
If you're not scrolling that fast past them, because after a while, we learn to shut them out. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. If you actually look at them, some have absolutely no engagement. That means no one liked it, no one commented on it, no one shared it.
Right.
But somebody paid for it, and somebody cashed that check.
Right.
So, again, there's that power, but it's a gamble. And like you said, nowadays, you're right. Buying likes, buying followers, buying subscribers, buying more awareness, more in the face of the people is normal. 5+ years ago, it wasn't. It was actually frowned upon, and Facebook was trying to shut that stuff down.
Yeah.
Right? Because then they would go, all of a sudden, you got 10,000 likes from a certain area in the world. That can't be real.
Yeah.
But now you can buy packages. It's part of the branding process. Because if you want to get up into that algorithm, you want to have your business shown, it's no different than buying your place on the Google web search. Right? You pay for that stuff. Before, years ago, you could put your own meta tags in. Right? In your website, you'd have your developer, designer do a whole stream of certain keywords and stuff. You can still do that, but nobody's getting that kind of traffic when you're competing against big name companies, brands, artists who already have notoriety and also have the backing to keep that notoriety.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And I understand what you're saying. It's a necessary evil, and I say that all the time. Me, I am not a fan of social media. Do I use it? Yeah, I have to.
We have to.
Otherwise, I'm throwing a party without inviting anybody. I'm reading books without turning the light on. Right? You just don't know what's going to happen. You're going to be sitting alone in the dark.
I was trying to think from a band Facebook end of it. I'm trying to think. You have to refresh my memory here because I can't picture it. Using your band's Facebook page, can you like or do you follow? Like when you, let's just say a club, can one business page like another business page, or do you have to follow that business page? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I think depending on how that page is set up,
it's a follow, right?
Depending on how that other page that you're trying to like or follow is set up, you'll have either that choice, right?
Okay.
For a long time, that wasn't the case. You couldn't do it. You also couldn't join groups, as like, say, my band page could not join groups. So I had to do all the posting personally.
Yeah,
but over the last 3 or 4 years, especially with the rise of the phone apps, I've seen a lot more accessibility for some of those branding type pages and or follow pages. There was actually a limitation, right? Because one, they were trying to cut down on someone spamming, right? All the spamming, like, and I get that. But if you're a legitimate business or brand or an artist and you're not trying to spam people, you're just trying to get your name out there, make an impact, get some awareness, it made it pretty difficult. It's like, my God, this is so cumbersome. So now you had to have 2 pages. I had to go back to my personal page to do then I had to like this group. Then I have to do all the posting there, or, it just was cumbersome. In recent months, with the changing of the apps again, and this is Facebook, as they're changing some of their format, things have become a little harder again. Like that big, and I don't know if that's just growing pains, a transition, or it's just that I'm not keeping up with constant updates, and that's probably part of it because I dislike it so. So I keep finding workarounds. Here's what I'll do. Okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. Maybe this isn't working. Because listen, here's the thing. You're part of some of these groups. I'm part of hundreds of groups. Some have a couple hundred members. Some have tens of thousands of members. Some have millions of members. But if you look at the numbers, you share on some of these ones. Because, again, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, where you wanted to share your brand was on those big communities.
Yeah.
But now, no one's seeing it. And there's no engagement because people are being bombarded so much that they're just scrolling right past it. And the majority of the world is just regular Joes and Janes posting whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And the thing is all the other regular Joes and Janes don't want anything to do with it. Because it's that detachment. Because again, there goes to what we just started talking about at the beginning of the topic, is Instagram's #1 follow page is a bot. And people know it. They're more interested in that than what a real human being is doing. I'm still baffled. Is there a difference between likes and follows? Yes. In the model, in the algorithms, I guess in the way they want you to spend money, or you can spend money, or how you're seen. But for us as artists, I mean, it's all good in a sense, right? And all the other pages, like you want like and subscribe. Like say you're on YouTube, you want subscribers. That means they're immediately. I guess it's a nice way of saying, another way of saying followers.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then you want likes, as many likes on that video or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Then you have people that just try to push as much comment, because comments they can generate in the search engines. Somebody puts in a little tag, or somebody puts in a certain word. You do a certain search, and all of a sudden it comes up. There's that engagement there. But again, for the regular Joes and Janes, that's not as easy as you think. I mean, everybody's got this turnkey method, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Nope.
Because if that was the case, everyone would have millions of viewers. There just isn't that many people. Sooner or later, there is a cutoff, right? You know what I mean? There's a cutoff because there's a certain demographic of the population that aren't watching YouTube videos.
Right.
That aren't streaming, that aren't on Facebook or Twitter. I have a Twitter account. It never made sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me.
For me, it doesn't. I don't get it. I have some things in the last 3-4 months that I do regularly on Twitter now, but that's because it's in correlation to some other, I don't even know what they're called, accounts, pages, I'm not even sure. So it's more of a sharing network than it is me posting, hey, we got a new album coming out today.
Right.
That's almost an afterthought. Oh my God, that's right, I should do it to Twitter. But does it make a difference? Honestly, I don't see anything. I think there's so much white noise that, and again, unless you are already established, then, what are you going to do?
It's funny, with Twitter, and again, of course, we're sticking to Facebook. With Twitter, I'm not one to, if I repost something or retweet something, it's like, I don't need likes. Like, I just like doing it because I like to feel like I'm supporting, right? I don't even know if anybody sees it. I don't get any activity unless someone retweets my retweet. Celebrity tweets something and I'll retweet it and I'll tag that celebrity. Well, sometimes the celebrity will retweet my tweet. Well, now my Twitter lights up. So if I just tweet it, nobody sees it. And I could do 500 hashtags, and I don't know where this whole thing falls into. Twitter it's completely, just like you said, it's white noise to me. I look at it and I go, I don't understand any of this. I really don't. I don't.
Even the interaction on Instagram. Now, I've had an Instagram account for the band for a number of years, and for a long time, I wasn't doing anything with it. And then sometime all of a sudden, I started getting all these follows, like out of the blue. So I said, you know what? Somebody said, just post photos. Just post photos. I said, so that's what I started doing. I said, well, let me experiment. I'll start feeling it. And that's what I started doing, and that's what I'm doing now. And a lot of people say, whatever you put in the comments, there's no links, so people can't go anywhere.
I know, that's so frustrating.
And it's so hard to share something, because you don't really share a thing. You share a screenshot of what they shared. And it's like, well, and then I think, and again, because I don't really spend any time on Instagram, like scrolling or trolling or whatever they call it. I just do my business and I'm out of there. There's not much of that kind of interaction. Maybe somebody out there in La La Land will say, well, that's part of your problem. There's no interaction. Because to me, it's difficult.
It is. It's not easy. Where Facebook, you could hit share, post, done. Instagram, you got to share and you got to clipboard it. At least that's how I used to do it. At one time, I was downloading another app, and then you share, and then you clipboard. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, share to your stories, share to your friends, and then you get the pick. It's like, what does that mean? And at one time, I was able to, whatever I posted on Facebook, it would show up on Instagram, and then vice versa. That is still connected, but nothing happens.
Right.
So I have no idea. No idea. None at all. And as much as I don't like Facebook, at least if you go onto your branding page, your artist page, whatever it is that you have, you can at least see what you just posted in the last 5 days. Okay, I got it. So if you don't feel like typing it again, you just reshare it, and you maybe a little quick note or something. See below, or you know what I mean, whatever.
You are listening to The Cosmic Voice with your hosts, Chris Natalini and Mick Michaels.
Venture to say that there's people that are listening that go, look, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is easy as pie. Well, I guess if you're under that 35 mark of years old, it makes perfect sense to you. Like, I got a TikTok account. I've tried it 5 times. And I said, you know what? I don't need a TikTok account.
Yeah.
Because it's so foreign to me. I just don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. It's too complicated. Maybe it's not complicated, but...
You know, not to get off subject, but I used to have a TikTok account, and then I heard all the,
conspiracy theories,
the rules and regulations, and I was like, yeah, I'll be deleting this from my phone.
Yeah. It's just way too difficult, right? To me, if it's too complex... then it's not worth the time, because if time is money, money is time, whatever you want to, use that old saying, then I'm wasting too much of my time.
Yes.
And the payback, when I'm getting back on this, just isn't worth it.
No, agree.
I'm past that point where I'm looking for me to go viral. It just isn't going to happen, right? Viral is a younger man's game, right? A younger person's game. That's what the world wants to see. Apparently, the beauty about that bot on Instagram is she never gets old.
Right.
She's always looking good. And she's always in a positive mood. So she's uplifting to all these people. I guess these are the same people that have been marrying those artificial life dolls. I don't know.
So now let me ask you this. In 2023... do you think that, I already know my answer, but do you think that likes and follows for an artist does matter?
Yes. And the reason I say that is because even now, people knowing what is actually going on, people are buying stuff and they're not all real. It's more of a facade. People still hold on to those numbers. I mean, God, I've had people... just up until prior pandemic, people are like, well, what are your Reverb Nation numbers? Like, Reverb Nation, where are you at? Are you a dinosaur? Like, I mean, the downfall, the pitfall, what people don't even realize at first with Reverb Nation is it's just a social network for artist to artist. And the reality of that is every artist is out for themselves, and rightly so. Because if I have to spend my time working for another artist to get them popular, what am I doing with my time for my art?
Right. 100%. Yeah.
I understand we talked about bands helping bands. I get that. But like I said, that's more behind the scenes stuff. That's you putting your ducks in a row so you can help other people get ducks in a row. If you're forgetting about your ducks because you want to look a certain way or whatever, it just doesn't make sense. So Reverb Nation, to me, people were like, they were relying on numbers that don't really exist. They're just numbers, right? There's no real concrete, because if they did, every one of those artists, including myself, would be at the top of the game, top of the echelon for merch, for music, for streaming, for views, for followers, for attendees at shows, right? I mean, I know at one point it was a deal breaker or a deal maker in the early stages. Because people were really excited about, I'm going to like this page. That's why if you got to Facebook after a certain period, it became very difficult to get the numbers. Prior to that, people were liking like it was just like it was their job. It was exciting. Oh, I like this. I like this. I like this. I like it. And then just like everything else, you subscribe to all these emails. Now you don't want to get them anymore. They were exciting maybe the first couple months, and then they're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So you start unliking, stop following.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So it's easy. As soon as you one thing or something, they're just tired, unlike, unfollow, can't see, out of sight, out of mind, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I have seen bands, and I'm not exactly sure because this is almost the flip side of it. I've seen bands with under 1,000 likes and or followers, and even under that, and they're headlining shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't understand that. And then you got bands that have big numbers, and they're opening acts for bands who don't have numbers. What is that? Is that one's paying, the other one isn't? Is that better management than the other? Is that somebody's just throwing some money at the wall and the other one isn't because they're doing it in the trench? Like, hey, I'm bringing the music to the people and, I'm not going to pay extra to do that. Like we talked about it before, there's always going to be those who are endowed enough to be able to do that. So they either have someone backing them or they're backing themselves. I mean, more power to them, whatever. At the end of the day, the music better be what really draws the people in, because you could shovel out as much money as you want. If the people don't like it, the people don't like it.
That's the thing that irritates me the most. And sometimes when you book these shows or these bigger shows, or you're trying to get in a venue and you have to do these press kits, they want to look at your numbers. How many people do you have? Yada, yada, yada. And I go, listen, just because Joe Smith's band has 3,000 likes and I only have 500 likes, did you think, I didn't buy mine? Mine are legit likes. I can't help that if a bot likes my page, but they're legit likes. This music business that we're in is exactly that, right? It's business. Like in my head, I go, I don't, they're buying likes. So, and obviously you can't prove it, but you as well as I do know that there's bands out there that are buying likes.
Oh yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
I know it for right. I could say for
not every. Listen,
fact.
honestly, it's not everyone, right? Not everyone's doing it.
No. I'm not,
there are bands that almost there's a telltale that they are.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because there's certain things you're like, oh my God, but then you go, well, wait a minute, something doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And especially if there's a jump, if there's a constant flow of likes and followers that are going up, yet nothing bigger is happening, that's a telltale sign. If your numbers are remaining the same and they're dropping a little bit, they go up a little bit, because they do all the time. People go on and off these social networks, so your numbers go up, So it's not everybody. And here's the thing. You could have 3,000 likes and you could have 200 likes, right? For that band, it doesn't matter because all 3,000 people aren't going to come to the show. They probably all don't live in the same area.
Yeah, that's
true
the
too.
Thing. Yeah.
I mean, we have a decent amount of followers, likes, whatever you want to call it. I think our page was converted last year. Well, Facebook did it. I didn't do it. We moved over to a follow page. Okay? It became a following page rather than, if there's no more likes on it. You can't like. The thing is they're not all from Philadelphia.
Right.
So they're not all going to come to a Philadelphia show. The point, all right? I'm always
that is
baffled.
such a great point.
Yeah, I'm also baffled by that. 5 of those people are probably actually from Philadelphia, and none of them are still coming to the show. It doesn't matter. And then they go, well, this band only has 200. Like you said, they're legitimate 200. If you get half of those people and they're all local that come to a show, well, for a local venue, that's a fantastic night.
Right,
I mean,
100%.
Half of that is
That's
a fantastic night. Yeah, because, they can't get more than that. So I never understood those guys who are in their big office chair in their basement somewhere, chomping on, Twinkies, and go, let me see what numbers this band has. Nobody from Canada is coming to Philadelphia. Right? Nobody from Texas is going to fly in, unless that was the only show, and I've already won 6 Grammys, okay?
Right.
It just isn't going to happen like that. Barry Gibb, a number of years ago, he only did 6 shows on his tour. You had people flying in to different cities because that's all he was doing. So I get that. but it's also Barry Gibb.
Right. Well,
Right.
and that's just like a number of years ago where Billy Joel was like, "Listen, I'm not going to tour. I'm going to do one night, Madison Square Garden, every Thursday, once a month.
Right.
So you come to see me. I'll be here once a month, once a week, whatever it was." He was like, "I'm not traveling to you, but you can come and see me."
Right.
And he did it he sold out every show for years.
Right.
Years.
Yeah. You and I tried to do that. We can't even buy the first 2 seats at Madison Square Garden. We'd have to
Exactly.
remortgage things. That's my point, right? That's different. So they're trying to compare apples to oranges, in my opinion. It doesn't work like that. Is likes more valuable than followers? Well, since we're moving away from the like model, within the next 2 years, I think it's going to be completely gone.
Wow.
You and I have personal pages. We don't like each other. We're
Right.
friends with each
We're
other.
friends. Right.
In the next couple of years, you're not going to see any more likes, like pages. You'll still be able to
So
like
you're gonna
posts.
see followers.
You're going to see primarily followers because they want to become a major marketing tool, and that costs.
Right.
You could do a search right now, and I'm not going to name any companies, any services, but there's a host of them now that will tell you get legitimate followers, get legitimate likes, get legitimate subscribers, whatever.
Yep.
The thing is they're not permanent. They are legitimate, but they're not permanent, especially for the streaming stuff or the views. I guess once it's viewed, it has to be viewed a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Going back to Twitter, there are pages that will tell you this is a reshare bot page. Once it comes in, it immediately goes out on all these channels. And they have tens of thousands of followers or likes. It's an easy, free service for people.
Yeah.
That particular place or that page, somebody owns it somehow. Somebody does something, and they're monetizing something somewhere down the line.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's what all this is becoming. Even this podcast, on the servers or the hosting agents that we use, they push you to advertise so you could monetize your podcast. Now, when I say monetize, I'm talking like not even pennies on the dollar, right?
Right.
But the idea is the more people that do that, more people they have, subscribers or people that they're hosting will do that, the more money they're going to generate because they're doing the Walmart. It's more.
Yeah.
Right? It's more. It doesn't matter if it's quality. It doesn't matter if your podcast has 2 subscribers and somebody else has 100,000. There may be a small negotiating aspect between the two, but the more people they have, because you may have one podcast that does 10,000, but then you have 700-800 podcasts that then total 35, 50,000.
Right.
So why not take
Right.
them as well, right? As Indie in the Trench artists, our goal is, as you've always said, we've taken one fan at a time. And if that means a like, if that means a follow, if that means a share, a subscribe, a view, whatever other words they use out there, then we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's a hard road. That's hard.
It is.
You know how hard it is to get someone to go to like your page, go to follow your page? It's like pulling teeth now.
Yeah.
15 years ago, it wasn't like pulling teeth. Hey, check us out on Facebook, man. Give us a like. People would give you likes right then and there. At the end of a show, you could see the difference of, oh my God, look at that. You know what I mean? We got 25 new likes just within, now it's crickets.
Yeah.
Now it's like, how many of you guys can pull your like or follow by the end of this show? You got 700 people are already gone before you even finish that statement. Last band didn't even go on. They've already unliked you. What do you think, man? You got anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think so, bro. I think that's good. No, I'm good.
Yeah, listen, I'm not sure if we actually answered any question. I'm not sure if we gave the right answer, but I think at the end there, like you said, I'm going to keep going back to what you said. Our job is to get one fan at a time, one new audience member, one supporter, and whatever that is. I mean, when I get a like, I know you're the same. When I get a follow, you're alerted to it. There's a moment of excitement. It's like, hey, man, that's somebody else. Somebody else is actually digging what we're doing. So if
definitely.
you're doing that, even if it's just one person a day or one person a week, one person a month, it doesn't matter. That means you're making whatever you're doing work.
Yep.
If you like that episode, check out some of our other episodes at www.thecosmicvoice.com. Step into the Cosmic Verse and fill that void. Thanks so much for listening. This is the Cosmic Voice. Be sure to check us out at thecosmicvoice.com. Like and follow us on Facebook at The Cosmic Voice. You can find The Cosmic Voice everywhere you listen to online podcasts, like Deezer, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, and so many more.
Okay, folks, that will do it for another episode of The Cosmic Voice. Mick and I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
You're listening to The Cosmic Voice. Music, talk, and nothing but business.